mostly complaining. That's what I do behind the shades that I withdrew. Mostly complaining. It's not my fault, so I just laugh and watch it fall apart.
Hello, and welcome to Mostly Complaining, the best goddamn complaining podcast that there is. I'm your host, Chuck Parker. This is my co-host and producer, Sam Alvarado. We're complaining today, Sam. I don't think that there was any question as to what it was that we were going to be doing, but
if they expect anything,
it should be reiterated because that's what we call branding. Branding, Sam.
It's not enough in the name.
Yeah, we have to meta talk about our continuous complaining.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise people would not know what the fuck we're doing. Yeah. They would just think that we were bitching willy-nilly.
One day one of the topics will be how much we complain.
Yeah, exactly. Do we have anything, any housekeeping, anything that we need to clear up?
No.
Have we made any mistakes? Have we pissed people off? Do we have people that are complaining about us? Or are people trying to cancel us?
No, Peter's.
It's because nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about this podcast. All right. So we've got a guest today. So we'll move along. We'll get on with our complaint of the day for us.
Let's do it.
You know, here. So we're complaining about the fucking grocery store. The grocery store. It's the worst place in the world, isn't it, Sam? Worst place in the world. It's all the human contact that I don't want. There's fucking Girl Scouts out front. They're trying to sell me cookies with their fucking emotional blackmail fucking bullshit. Fuck those Girl Scouts. You have to fucking hire every lonely old fuck to be a cashier. That's their fucking, human contact for the day. So chatting at me, trying to like buy like fucking batteries and vodka, fucking condoms and, Vaseline. It's like I just want to fucking get through there. And all you want to do is fucking talk. Fuck you. Why are you in the fucking workplace in the first place? Fuck the grocery store.
Why.
Fuck, yeah.
Here's why.
Yeah.
So I think a big factor, because we both know, and I think our viewers and listeners, they all know how much you hate humans, people.
Human beings.
But the specific issue with grocery shopping, let's start with Walmart specifically, is they're like the police in that you can not have over a certain IQ and get hired there. You literally cannot be too intelligent and work as a cop or at Walmart. So with Walmart employees, even though they've got self-checkouts left and right, when you do deal with somebody,
only so high shall you rise. So
exactly.
We're not dealing with problem solvers here. We're dealing with
problems.
Problems. That they can be, dully content enough, to like fucking not improve their lot in life and continue to work at fucking Walmart.
And hate you.
Of course. Yeah, they're blaming their
job still sucks.
Yeah, you don't have like the wherewithal to like read up on the Waltons. But fuck the grocery store. Yeah.
Do you feel like you'd be any happier with unioned workers either way? You still have to, deal with them. They still suck. You're going to end up with Jeffs, like we said in the previous episode.
Jeffs What I want is unioned workers that are running the self-checkout counter,
Just leave you alone.
Whatever it is that they do behind the scenes, just where I don't have to talk to them.
Yeah.
And the self-checkout counter sucks. On top of that, because it's always like, trying to make sure that you're not fucking stealing stuff, which I guess you're supposed to be stealing stuff if you're using, the self-checkout counter. If you're not stealing, then what the fuck are you doing?
What's wrong with you?
But, I constantly get the thing where it's like they have to come over and check, how many fucking items I have, and it's who the fuck knows? It's not like they're actually counting.
No, you're white enough. I assume you'd get away with never being checked either.
No. I'm I've got a color shield.
Yeah. parking at grocery stores. If you're not parking in handicapped spaces, that's your fucking problem. You know why? Because just across from the handicapped spaces, as I've said before with handicapped, remember?
Too many fucking people, especially like a parking lot like a Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Again,
Just
this is one
across.
of those things that makes me wish that COVID had killed more people. You know, I mean, it's just not enough. I don't know if we
Damn
can we
grocery
is
stores.
monkeypox going to do the thing
That's-
that
it's
COVID
gonna
couldn't?
come sweep up the rest, clean up.
Just enough to where how hard is it to get a fucking parking spot at Trader Joe's?
Just park in the fucking handicap. Because self-checkout, the curbside pickup is literally right next to the handicap spots. And if you can park there and somebody can bring you your shit, but the handicapped people got to hobble their ass in, that's their fault. They should know they can just call somebody out. And I'm parking in the handicap, and I'm meandering on in.
Yeah,
That's how it's
I
going.
think that you should. We've already
Fuck 'em.
talked about disabled privilege.
it's
And
true.
you know, these lazy handicapped people lounging around in their wheelchairs.
But my point is the stupidity of having to deal
give
with
them some
people.
adversity.
Yeah, well, not just that, but like you can tell that there's just a bunch of idiots in the grocery store because nobody parked in the pickup lane. Like, who's
Yeah.
going to stop you from the curbside pickup? Who?
Yeah. And you're going to be out of there before they can tow you.
Yeah.
So just a
It's
little
not-
advice here.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not all complaining. Sometimes we give you real practical
Tips.
advice
Yeah,
here.
on how not to be a dumbass.
On how not to be a fucking dumbass. On top of which, isn't every awkward interaction of a person that you see outside of like your work or school, if you run into them, you're gonna run into them at the grocery
And they're
store,
like,
aren't you? It's always the
"Surprise
grocery
meeting
store.
you here."
Oh, it's Jennifer, and she's next to the bananas. Great. That's exactly who I wanted to fucking see. You know.
I would not eat bananas if that's just. I'm gonna avoid it like the water heater. I'm not going.
Jennifer from.
Yeah, Jennifer's not gonna be near the bananas. We all know that.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna be by the Hostess cupcakes.
Yeah, the little Debbies, which have been determined not food.
Not
That's like
food.
another thing that's been determined not food.
Has that?
Skittles are not food. Like, it's not fit for
so.
human consumption. Skittles.
Really?
Yeah, Skittles are not fit for human consumption, which you can
Skittles.
buy at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And also the like the little Debbie's, like
Cupcakes,
that's
yeah.
not real food.
No, it's just cockroach
I mean, we knew
legs.
that it wasn't real food, but I think science has confirmed
Yeah.
you should not put this in your body.
ruining everything. We already knew that, and that's not stopping anybody.
But fuck, can't we like just normalize like Grubhub, except like they just bring us the groceries?
Dude, they
you know? I
have
mean, I
that.
know they
They
have it, but it's
have
too
that.
expensive, and I can't understand
Yeah.
how the technology works. Make it easier. Make it easier for me, who is stupid. to
Fucking shopping.
To,
If you
to-
see
to be-
either
to
of us-
draw further in, to become further withdrawn away from
Society.
humanity.
Yeah. Don't talk to
So
us.
yeah. So fuck the grocery store. We've got a special guest today.
Woo.
Mateo.
Yeah.
Mateo. If you're wondering what his last name is, I have no fucking idea, because this guy's like Seal or Cher or Bono. He's one of those one-name guys. I'm not sure what special thing he's done to deserve that fucking moniker, but we're going to bring him on anyway. So stay tuned for Mateo.
Woo.
Hey, I'm Mateo. I'm here to complain. I'm the one-aid comic that was just introduced, and I brought a bucket of comedy magic with me. I was told to pick 4 complaints, but I have too many complaints. So complaint number 1, local podcasters. Over the years, people have come up to me and said, hey, Mateo, great set. You should come on the podcast. Hey, come on my podcast soon, man. But no one, present company excluded, has ever asked me onto their podcast. I want to be clear. If I came up to you and I said, man, I love your podcast. It's fantastic. And then you said, thanks. We'll have you on sometime. That I could excuse. You're just being a coward. You're politely trying to avoid that awkward conversation.
Let it out. Let it out.
But I don't ask about your fucking podcast. I don't watch your podcast. I could care less about your podcast, all right? I'm not going to name names here. I don't want to create any potential problems in the comedy community.
I can name some names.
It's just me thinking out loud here, all right?
Yeah.
If you want me to come on your BS podcast, all you got to do is ask, hey, Mateo, you got a couple of hours to spare? I've got 37 subscribers who really want to hear from you.
Yes.
Fuck
Let
yeah.
the hate flow through you.
Oh, come on.
Let the resentment come through.
I come on your podcast. It's going to get dozens of views, guys. I'll really get my name
Dozens
out there.
of views.
Thank
You're not
you.
putting this man on your podcast, and he's going to bring you dozens of views, and like at least 7 of those
Double
are
digits.
for sure. They're related to him. They live with him, so he's going to be. What fucking assholes are not putting Mateo on their podcast? Because you can see that this man is fucking dynamite right now. I mean, look at this fucking opening. I mean, how are we not putting this man on every single podcast that's in this town? If you aren't, you're fucking irresponsible.
I couldn't have said it better myself, although I think I'm going to try.
Yeah.
So then let's say you do invite me on your podcast, and you say, hey, be there Thursday 4 to 6. And I cancel my appointment. My dog and I, we were going to get our anal glands expressed. Okay, it was a 2-for-1.
It's an important
PetSmart.
thing.
It's important. I had to cancel that. I had to reschedule. And I see online, I say, 6 p.m., the co-host / producer of this podcast is in Santa Fe. I have a feeling he's not going to make the appointment. Hey, what's up with that? And he says, oh, you're right. We're not going to be there at 4 p.m. Thursday. Let's reschedule for Friday or Monday. And I say, yeah, what time? Is it at the same time? And he says, yes, 3 p.m. Monday, which is not the same time. Which brings me to my most important point. Chuck, why are you working with Sam?
Once you started talking about those times, I was like, that sounds familiar, because that sounds about the times that you were given to be on this podcast. Yeah. So why am I working with Sam? Because we have a bond, me and Sam.
Sexual.
Yeah, well, it's not all sexual, Mateo. Not everything has to be sexual, but we check each other's beards for ticks. It's like it's a thing.
Yeah, just normal heterosexual
normal
male bonding.
heterosexual male
You
bonding.
check each other for ticks and fleas. I
Check
get
each
it.
other for ticks and fleas. We sleep in the same bed. And, we hold hands when we walk down the street, but platonically.
Of course. Big spoon,
bro
little spoon.
shit.
Big spoon, little spoon. There's
Big
nothing
spoon,
gay
little
about
spoon. It says
it.
nothing gay about it, even when we're blowing each other.
Why do you have a picture of him naked, though? I'm just curious.
That
just motivation?
It keeps me going, because here's the thing. I can't always get my dick up when I have a guest here. So sometimes I have to have a little bit of, keep it going, so that it's like Sam is here, but he's not. But what are you going to do? Sam is doing his thing. He's doing Sam things. I can show you the...
Is it
Yeah.
Sam things are over? Huh.
Yeah, it's about right.
Definitely.
Anyway,
Should we move on to another topic,
we
Chuck?
should go...
Mostly
please,
complaining with the
please.
single named Mateo. Punching down. The concept of punching down is when a higher status, higher power comic makes jokes about individuals or groups that are beneath them in society, position, or power. Comedy is about punching up, speaking truth to power. The only problem with what I just said is that it's utter bullshit. All right? Fuck this punching down, punching up bullshit. The point of comedy is to make people laugh. I don't give a fuck what makes people laugh. You could make jokes on Hot Pockets or whatever the fuck. Chuck sleeping with Sam and picking ticks out of each other's beard. If it makes people laugh, that's comedy. If it doesn't make people laugh, then that's bad comedy. Or like I like to call it, Mateo style. That's what I do.
I prefer punching down.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's
easier.
easier.
It's absolutely easier.
It's just
You got
like
the better angle.
fighting children. They hardly put up any, or just little people. You can beat them up easily.
There's not enough little people for that. There's not enough.
There's not
But children
enough.
will do. Children will do.
Yeah, children are a good stand-in. When you can't find an adult-sized little person, you can get in a fight with a child. But no, punching down, that's what we're looking for. Really, honestly, these people with their disabilities or special status, think that they can escape the wrath of comedy. No, that's not what we're about. We're equal opportunity assholes. So
how can comics punch down? Comics are the lowest rung of the ladder.
we are
How do comics punch down?
We are the pond scum of the entertainment industry.
Exactly. Every comic I know is a couple blowjobs away from homelessness.
Yes.
Or they're already homeless.
Yep.
One or the other.
I mean, it depends on how good your blowy game is, I mean, as to where you're landing here, I mean, like, I'm, in a one-bedroom apartment, that smells like cat shit. So, mine hasn't been so good, but it's only handies, really, just disinterested, no eye contact hand jobs, Mateo. That is the name of the game.
Oh, you've been married. Okay. Mm-hmm. Good to know. Good to know. I'm also a married
16
person.
years.
I apologize. Do you want to move to another topic Chuck?
Please, Mateo, please give us another topic from your Tupperware of dreams.
This is a comedy magic bucket.
A comedy magic bucket.
How dare you call it
I
Tupperware?
apologize.
God damn it, Chuck.
Misnaming.
This is the last local podcast I'm doing, God damn it.
I understand we're a huge disappointment.
I'm going to let you in on a secret. There's nothing written on this piece of paper. But if it was something written on this piece of paper, it would say, comics doing cocaine.
Comics doing cocaine.
Comics, stop doing cocaine. I know that cocaine's a stimulant, and it should suggest that it makes you more attentive to the things around you. But I have personal experience with a local comedian named, we're going to bleep that right here. He knows who I'm talking to. You know who you are. You came outside of a comedy club in Albuquerque, and you smoked a bowl with a random homeless guy who was clearly psychotic, and he smoked all of your weed. And then you said, oh, I couldn't tell he was homeless. He also said the N-word within 11 seconds of meeting you. And you were like, yeah, this is a guy you should smoke a bowl with. That's the power of cocaine. Later on the same night, a couple of other, let's say, street livers approached you. And speaking of Skittles, one of them said, have you ever tasted the rainbow? Really aggressively. So I got in my fight posture. And then we said, what? Because I'm not on drugs. And he said, you ever tasted the rainbow? I don't care if you're gay, straight, what have you. If you ever had my Skittles, they're the most delicious Skittles ever. And then I realized this guy doesn't want to fight us. He wants to fuck us, which is weird. Same comic on cocaine. Ask the homeless person beside him and says, what, did you guys just play paintball or something? Because what? They're dirty? They're dirty because they live on the street.
I know exactly who you're talking
Stop
about.
doing cocaine. You're funny. Cocaine doesn't make you a better comic. Stop doing cocaine, goddammit. I came here with a public health message.
Mateo, I worry about the kids these days doing all the drugs. Sometimes they're getting behind the wheel and they're driving the cars and they're doing the drugs, and then they're getting up and doing the comedy and doing the drugs, and they're not drinking enough water either. We live in a desert, and they're dehydrated, so they're drinking too much. They're doing the cocaine. They're not taking their vitamins.
They're smoking bowls with homeless people.
Bowls with homeless people.
Asking people if they played paintball. Third event of the same night, the same comic, the same cocaine-induced retardation. He sees a random person down the street and says, is that Royal? Our beloved local comic Royal. It was a homeless man screaming at people on motorcycles. He has 2-foot long dreadlocks. He's dirty. He's skinny. He doesn't look like Royal, you fuck. Stop doing cocaine. I don't know if this is a good episode for you, Chuck.
I don't know.
I'm
I
just
don't
trying
know.
to
I don't
get
know
a
if
public health message out here
might have-
tonight.
I don't know if that's the cocaine so much as it is the racism, Mateo.
Cocaine makes
the
you
latent,
racist.
The latent racism from Schmalky.
We're going to anagram the name. We won't say his name.
Yeah, but
Smell of
anyway,
smoky.
it doesn't matter. Anyway, bleeped person, shame on you for your degenerate fucking coke use and misidentification of a black guy.
All black people don't look alike, you fuck.
Yeah,
Only when you're on cocaine.
only when you're on cocaine. That's what it's the most racist white drug that there is.
It is. It's even white.
Yeah,
It's complete. Yeah. I don't do cocaine.
I don't either anymore. It's much too expensive for my blood. Yeah.
Do Adderall.
I'll smoke some crack though.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, like a little crack now and then. All right, what do we got? What do
Do
we
I have
got?
another
Your
topic
magic,
here?
Your magic fucking box of fucking graph paper.
I'm going to make up a topic on the spot here. The news.
The news.
Fuck the news.
We talked about this. You know what? We talked about the news recently. So, but tell us.
Who talked about the
We
news?
talked about
You?
I talked
Of
about the
course
news
I heard that.
recently.
I
Yeah.
watch every episode.
Okay, so tell me, what is it? Because I'm with you. I'm already with you. But tell me what about the news?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Life sucks.
Yeah.
Some people are okay. Some people are dying.
Yeah.
That's the news.
Yes.
It doesn't change. That's always been the news.
Yeah.
And you think you consume all this news and you watch 13 seconds of every clip about every story and you think you know something about Ukraine and you think it makes you smart. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You're miserable because the news sucks, just like life. Fuck it, stop watching the news.
Yeah, it's just an empty cacophony of human suffering being broadcast at you fucking constantly. That mixed with banal fucking pop culture gibberish and tweets. And then
What he said.
advertisements for fucking, fucking catheters and fucking, bladder medication. That's pretty much it. That's what the news is. I mean, it's, who gives a fuck? I mean, and really, here's the thing. Maybe you are going to give a fuck about it. What the fuck are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Who gives a
Nothing.
shit? Vote every
what are you
2
gonna
to
go
4 years.
vote?
That's all you're going to
Vote.
do.
Just go vote.
Vote or fucking don't vote.
Don't vote.
But whether you know absolutely everything happening in the news or you know one thing happening in the news, that's enough to go vote. So who gives a fuck? Why are you wasting your time consuming the news?
It's bad for you. It's bad for you. You're gonna die early consuming this shit. It is just like I gotta tell you this. I've checked out, Mateo. I used to watch the news all the time. I haven't watched it in about a year. I have no idea what's going on. I'm vaguely aware.
People are dying.
I know. I
Life
knew that, and I
sucks.
knew that before. We're vaguely in a proxy war with Russia. We were kind of doing that before.
Haven't we always been a proxy war with someone?
It's like, what the fuck else is new? But I'm a happier person, I have to say. Me shirking my civic responsibility and being an uninformed fucking schmuck that like his only attachment to humans is going to the grocery store and whatever bullshit pop culture I sponge up peripherally. It's made me a better person. It's made me a happier person at least. So yeah, fuck the news. Who
If you're going to
cares?
watch the news, just do it the way Chuck does it. He reads the news, he gets the headline, he uses that nudes with nudes.
The
He
nudes.
he
Get the
uses
nudes.
Get the nude news.
The
okay?
nudes.
If you get the
Yeah.
nude news,
Now I think you're onto something.
and then you turn that into a good joke. Hopefully a joke that's punching down on someone, you know? Or could be punching up if you really
Speaking
want
of the
to.
nudes, Mateo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's he's showing me a picture of Sam's nudes.
Yeah. Well, he won't say what it is, but so the nudes.
Why are his balls in that order?
Yeah.
Usually they're side by side, not top to bottom.
Sam has got weird balls. For the people that are listening, I'm showing.
No one's listening.
Yeah, for the people that are listening and not watching, I'm showing Mateo a picture of Sam's balls, which are weird.
My
admittedly.
dad had testicular cancer, and he should probably check the bottom one. Looks a little bit bigger than the top one.
Yeah, that can happen if you have testicular torsion, So, yeah, they get twisted up, like a fucking tether ball wrapped around the fucking pole, and then it'll get all swollen up and painful. Not that I know from personal experience, but anyway.
You should let him do Big Spoon once
We got
in a
time
while.
for one more. Let's do one quick one, and we'll close it out.
Here, read it.
Okay, so fucking lack of topics on podcast. Lack of topics
on podcast.
Thinking of what the fuck are
I
we
swear
supposed
to
to
God,
talk about?
when people come to a podcast unprepared, they don't have a bucket full of actual real topics to discuss. It pisses me off. Take some pride in your work, guys.
It could just be empty graph paper.
It could
All
be.
of this could be an illusion. So, yeah, that it definitely pisses me off. Being completely unprepared, irresponsible. In the production of one's podcast, to where we're just wheedling away at the end of it, looking at the clock tick down while we try and come up with some amount of clever shit to say, so that we can finally just sort of look at each other and say, hey, thanks for listening to Mostly Complaining. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be fucking great. We've got the Cash App and the fucking Venmo, so you can send us fucking money, which we don't fucking deserve. We could possibly spend on angel dust and fucking, beanie babies. So this has been Mostly Complaining. I think we've scraped the bottom of the barrel. You have like other magic papers in there right
These
now.
are just
but
racial
it's too
slurs.
much. It's rich. It's a rich gold mine of shit that we want to do it justice and spend the time, to really go into those fucking things. But Mateo, thank you so much for coming on Mostly Complaining.
I'd say it's my pleasure,
really
but
appreciate you.
really regretted coming here today. So
it is what it is. You can't hold on to that regret. This probably will haunt you in your career.
Sure.
All the shit that's on here is going to be on the internet forever. So hopefully you don't want to get an important job anytime soon. But anyway, this has been Mostly Complaining. Mateo's life is over. We're out.
This apartment is a coffin, and I'm comforted to death. And the howling from my brain stem plants the fear in every breath. Well, they say that suffocation is a lousy way to die. Slowly choking on a memory, then pretending to know why. Mostly complaining, and not much else. I pace a line and mutter to myself.